Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 13, Week 5. We got MK-Ulty, we got Birds Aren't Real. Representing BAR with me is NuObs. Say hello, NuObs.
Hey.
And representing... Your voice sure got a lot higher pitched than I remember it being. And representing MK-Ulty, we got Godlike Matt. What's up, Matt?
Yo, what's up, guys?
BAR immediately coming out with the I blame these guys bans. No surprise there, both of those heroes I think had a pretty high impact on that last game. If only he could ban 3 here.
10 seconds remaining.
I think there's pretty much a triangle in that last game, a triangle of terror. MK-Ulty starting off with the absolute most boring pick in Dota 2 right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Almost the mascot of LD2L. Once again, he kind of died off near the end of Season 12, but I think in Season 13 he is actually back to the prior status of being nearly 100% PB rate. Mostly picks. I don't see anybody banning the Ogre, I don't feel like. I think he got banned against Guap Circles once, that's it.
I feel like if you get a Lotus Orb against Ogre, his game's pretty much over.
Well, the thing with Ogre is that if you get a Lotus against Ogre, then you're just going to be an E machine, and the E alone can often just do you good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lineups.
Silencer first pick. What was your thoughts on this? Because this really this put pressure on me, honestly.
I was. I don't know how I felt about it being the first pick, but I definitely was okay with it. Silencer is probably my most played hero.
A lot of supports in LD2L are Silencer mains for some reason, or like one of their mains is Silencer at the very least, one of the biggest ones in their pool. I know off the top of my head, Trisoft is a big Silencer player. Crystal Miku might become a 4 by the end of this season. He's a Silencer main. Alexa Jax, a big Silencer player. Pit
I also
Lord,
feel like Silencer just has a lot of... He doesn't... Not only does he just have a lot of damage inherently, but he scales endlessly, and the global silence, if you can do it right, it can be really devastating.
Right, it is a very difficult thing to actually counter. You have to time it very well. And no matter how well you time all your funny answers to global silence, whatever they may happen to be in any particular game, no matter how well you time it, there's always going to be 2 or 3 people who are left out of the loop. Like, pretty much no matter what point in the game you're in, unless it's like 80 minutes, the supports are always going to be silenced in the global silence. There's a very good chance that your 3 is going to be silenced pretty much the whole game, because you're not usually going to want to build BKB on the 3 necessarily.
Yeah, also, I think that was a good pick. I don't know if that's what you guys were thinking, but it really blocks a lot of the heroes I play.
Right.
So just really griefing my heroes that I play. So
I think it griefs everybody's 3 pool. And speaking of griefing in 3, somebody wants to grief the MK-Ulty. Well, I was about to say the MK-Ulty pause 1 like it's some mystery who this guy is. Somebody wants to grief Lambert this game, coming out with the Underlord.
yeah, definitely.
And somebody does not want to deal with the Underlord this game, and so we've immediately got a Viper in response.
I think I was pretty frustrated about that pick.
Yeah, I think Pit Lord is hard to pick whenever you don't have Viper out of the pool. He is definitely one of the heroes that is more vulnerable to the Viper. You can definitely deal with the Viper damage. I think Pit Lord definitely has the ability to tank it up. I mean, literally you just... I mean, as Pit Lord, you buy Pipe of Insight, and you've completely cut out 100% of Viper's damage to not just you, but basically the whole team. He's going to be nothing to you for the rest of the game, except the break. You're always going to have to worry about it.
Super good on the Naga ban. I didn't want to see nothing with Naga.
Yeah, and with the Pit Lord, it's not like you could have that reliably picked. I mean, you have the break, but if you're not going to get the break every fight...
Yeah, and Naga's one of those heroes that, man, you just never see the real one. Takes your towers down 1 by 1. It's really annoying.
Yeah, especially the Beatus Naga. He's a pretty good Naga.
Out of Bismarck...
Yeah.
Otto has determined that he is allergic to watermelon as this bandit from the next round.
10
Who's
seconds
watermelon?
remaining.
The
Tide.
big stupid watermelon.
Oh, that's
Tidehunter.
right. Oh, yeah.
5
Yeah, oh, I never
seconds
thought
remaining.
about it that way. He does look like a watermelon.
Dire
What the
team
fuck?
ban.
Crystal Maiden.
Got Crystal Maiden. If you think about it, Tidehunter is definitely the dumbest hero in the game, right? Like, intelligence-wise, he's definitely the dumbest hero in the game. Because not only is he a watermelon, I mean, think about it. With his Q, he's spitting on people. With his E,
Yeah.
he's got the anchor smash. Why isn't that just his auto attack? Why is he ever not anchor smashing? He needs mana to think about how to hit people with an anchor. His ult is basically his older brother comes and beats the game for him. And his passive is that he's too stupid to realize he should be taking damage.
Yeah, that's funny, man. That's a good way of saying it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Otto, of course, hates the intellectually disabled, which is why he has banned Tidehunter this game, which means that this game is a hate crime. Please send all hate mail to Otto von Bismarck. Got the CM here. I love the CM Underlord combo. Underlord's biggest problem, by far and away, is his crappy mana pool. And you can build around it. You can help that a little bit. But it just sucks so much. Like, you go through so many clarities in a game. Crystal Maiden cuts it down like
Silence as
50%
well.
instantly.
Silencer
I think
Silencer
just-
is also a very good combo. Silencer doesn't have to
Yeah.
spend too much on clarities.
I also think just generally having a crystal, especially after her rework on her arcane aura, just being around her while she's casting and whatever is just really nice. As anybody, I mean,
10
a
seconds
Chaos Knight,
remaining.
an Underlord, a Silencer, anybody who
Right.
uses mana.
5
Yeah,
seconds
definitely.
remaining.
MK-Ulty going for the, if you're in this one particular spot, you're in hell strategy. You know, you've got the Shadow Shaman Ward Trap plus the Viper Goo, and, you know, why don't we let Juggernaut spin on you while you're in there?
Oh yeah.
I don't like Juggernaut into Pit Lord. Like, you're really gonna have to be counting on the Viper this game. If Pit Lord is not broken, then it's like, on one hand, hooray, you know,
10
he's
seconds
never gonna kill
remaining.
Juggernaut himself. On the other hand, Juggernaut is never going to kill
5
anybody with Pit
seconds
Lord
remaining.
around. Except with Spin, I guess. This is a good Spin lineup, but...
Yeah, I don't think anybody really wanted to pick Sen anyway. He's not very strong this patch.
Dire team ban.
Man, if it was me here, it would have been an Enigma pick, but that Silencer was really pissing me off.
Nipon!
I actually think that was part of Otto's reasoning for picking me Silencer.
Yeah. Sniper here, actually.
10 seconds
Interesting pick. They got a big fat guy to sit in front and tank a lot of damage, and you know, this is like dream game for Sniper, honestly, at the moment. Just
Right.
Underlord locking people down, and you know, Sniper just hitting people.
The
with
only issue is that the ideal fight does happen, then Sniper is completely hosed. Like, if Underlord gets broken by Viper and they can keep him in the break goo, which they definitely have enough CC to do that, right? He's gonna need to be, again, just born with the BKB. You know, funnily enough, Sniper is not going to be able to fight until Pit Lord gets the BKB this game, which is an unusual sentiment, but definitely the fact here. If Pit Lord is in the goo, Juggernaut can kind of just spin through everything, get up to Sniper and Omnium, and if he's not losing damage, I think Sniper just dies 100% of the time in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's funny how their lineup now this game is the absolute opposite of what they had last game, where it's all AoE and slows instead of like single target spells on everyone. They have like no
That's
stuns
true.
now and slows. Went
Yeah,
for
I
the
think-
two total opposites here.
I think one
Good
of the
streams.
things that I was trying to voice in this draft was our lack of stuns.
There are some ones that can fix it. Unfortunately, Wraith King was banned, and then you banned CK. The CK ban? I don't know. I think it's almost a bit confusing here, because you can split up what Viper needs to do with his break and make it harder for him. And, I think that gives you some stun, gives you some positioning.
5 seconds
Screw her away. Like, he can definitely help you point guard this game if you play it right. I guess it does have a high execution factor. Like, if you screw it up, if, like, you and Underlord are both taking a bath in the break juice, it's just nothing happens, you all die, but, you know. You want CK here,
I just don't think
Mars
I just
pick
don't think
here.
Beatus wanted to play the Chaos Knight
Probably.
again.
I mean, I also play it with very well. I have like an insane win rate on it, so I think. And I was actually thinking about it when you guys banned it, so it was actually a pretty good ban.
Oh, it's a good thing you didn't, because I would have flamed you.
Yeah. Moldbird is not a fan of it offlane, but I do have the stats to show for it, so.
Me neither. BAR are going to take it to the exact end here. Weaver. Okay. NuObs, help me out here.
You're thinking exactly what I was thinking, actually.
That was gold, pure gold reaction.
That's how I was.
I
don't have words.
You are putting so much on Big Boy LaCroix's plate in this game. Big Boy LaCroix has to have a godlike game for BAR to have a win condition, because if not, Weaver and Sniper are just gonna die in 2 seconds. And CM is just really not gonna be of any help to you.
I mean, looking at our lineup, we have 2 roots, right? And that's pretty much our only lockdown for the entire enemy team. And we're playing against the Juggernaut. So, yeah, in this game, Underlord has to have a perfect lane and be in front the entire time. That's kind of hard to put all that pressure on one person.
I do think, if nothing else, I do think if there is a guy who could handle it. Big Boy LaCroix is definitely on the list of guys who could definitely, potentially perform in this scenario. He's definitely he's a very good 3. Big Boy LaCroix is a very good 3, and he specializes in these sorts of cases. But
he's also on a comfort hero as well.
There's 10 tons on his back this game. This is it's gonna be a very high pressure scenario for him. We saw what happens to high pressure pit lords last season when Radiant Straight said their whole game built on a pit lord, then he forgot to build one item and they lost. Ask Matt, next time you're gonna call with Lambert, ask him what Lads forgot to build.
I will. I'm curious.
Yeah, I feel like Big Boy is probably the best 3 that I've ever played with, and I give him a lot of credit for how hard he tries and the focus he puts into his lane and his gameplay. It actually makes a huge difference in a lot of our games.
Yeah, the Big Boy LaCroix is he's definitely one of the top 3s. I think there's kind of a dearth of like really good 3s. I mean, it's not as bad as a mid. There's a total drought of mids in this season. Nobody is playing that role in this league. But there's not really many more really good 3s. I think probably over half of the good 3s in this league are in this game. Cuz it's
yeah.
There's you, there's Big Boy, there's Poop. And I think really, as far as
I don't think I've lost a lane though this season.
I think as far as great 3s go, now there's definitely a lot of acceptable mids. They're not acceptable. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of acceptable 3s, right? There's definitely a lot of 3s that are just you can trust them to put on a reliable performance. As far as really good, as far as show stealer type 3s, I think that's almost a comprehensive list.
This lane, not gonna lie, was a real mess. CM with the Weaver, man. Just a lot of magic damage to deal with early.
Right.
With my Ogre not really helping me in lane.
Damn,
Trading.
runner meat. Give another call to
Call
runner
him
meat
out.
and tell him he's getting... Give another call to runner meat, tell him he's getting flamed on cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I feel like in this lane I could have been doing a lot more.
What was the lane swap thinking behind? Did you guys just wanted the silencer against like the shaman? What was the thinking behind it? Because you guys
I'm
switched position,
actually-
right? You're playing P4.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, we missed
Yeah.
first blood.
Dire's middle
I am
We
playing
absolutely can't
P4.
miss that. Get another shot of this. Oh,
This
it's
is
simple.
where I'm not happy because my Ogre is full health and I'm just zero. Like the trading here should be the opposite. My Ogre should be dead and I should be at this health pool and kill the Weaver and see him.
Well, you see, what's happening here is a god like Matt is really just paying no attention to his own health bar. Just,
Yeah, just absolutely sucking, man.
I mean, this guy really, like, he should put the learn Dota 2 league in a clue. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no.
Yeah, you guys did swap. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Well, I was drafted as the +4.
Interesting.
I think we switched it up last game. And the whole
Yeah,
thing
that's
was
true.
that-
I actually have you on record as the pos 4 here.
Yeah, we did that to have the Maledict against the Tide.
Right.
Satisfying last hitting.
I think they trusted me more as the Witch Doctor than the Lion. So
Tell me Ogre Magi did not just walk out of lane at 30 seconds to stack Ancients. Tell me that didn't just happen. When Pohahoro was just starting this game, dude, I had to yell at her like 60 times to stop doing this. He better at least do it.
I think he gets it. Hopefully.
Okay, he does get both these stacks. That is
got it.
good.
Got it.
It's just that you could have done that walking out of lane at 50 instead of walking out of lane at 30. That's all I'm saying.
Look how.
Yeah.
Look how. I was. Oh, not gonna lie. I was starting to mold here.
Maybe 40. Like maybe if you want to be generous, like 40, 45. Because he did start that at like 52, 30.
Okay, now I gotta tell him that he's getting flamed on cap.
Yeah. If you want a super flame, when Pohaharo was starting, sometimes she would do that at like 20. She just walk out of the lane at like 20
Oh, yeah,
seconds, just spin in the triangle for that long and
I
then
mean,
stack.
At least he actually hit the sack. It would have been
Yeah,
worse
true.
if he hit only one or just fucked them both.
It's very sad day for Weaver there, who gets denied on the attack he Sakuchi's with. Ooh,
Got the wrong
That's
one there.
unlucky.
Weaver protected the CM, man. It's a good play by Beatus.
Get down, Mr. President.
Dire's
Good play
middle
by
tower
Beatus. He definitely didn't just coincidentally happen to be walking there.
Look at
the time.
that damage, man. She's crazy, Weaver.
Well, this is interesting. The smoke's coming out, but Mars is totally out of mana. We have another person coming in. It's Mickle, Viper.
I think we just don't catch.
We're feeding mangoes.
It's Weaver, man. Fucking annoying.
But, oh. Weaver's coming back, but the smoke is gone. It's only sentries here are radiant. And you get tipped.
Feels bad, man.
Dire's middle
And then you almost die. It would have been even worse. Oh, no,
I think
cancel that
I might
almost.
die. Oh, big balls coming back.
Then you get eaten by the bug. The
Branyo
saddest
was
way to
dead.
die.
Might as well get the fucking
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
And then
Tip me,
the
and then I
tip
killed
comes
him.
back. Ooh. Oh, this is so sad.
That's always the worst. It always hurts when it comes back.
Matt, did you ever hear about the day that Tybor got tipped out of the league?
No. What?
Okay, it actually comes at the hand of this man, Big Boy LaCroix. It smells like Team Spirit versus This Is Sparta, right?
Yeah.
Tybor dies to Big Boy kills him, and Big Boy tips him. The next time Tybor spawns, he sits in spawn for like 15 seconds and doesn't move, and then after the game he immediately quits.
No way, dude.
And on BBC, when I was on BBC last season, I made the joke
look at
on
that
air
damage.
because we made it a couple of times
Dire's top
about
tower is under attack.
the tip that was heard around the world that knocked Tybor out of the league, and he posts a big rant in chat after I say that, like, I don't know who that is, but actually I wasn't mad about that tip at all. I quit because 2 paragraphs, and I was like, okay. And then just to make it worse, he then goes into LD2L chat and he's like, I just like to clarify one more time that I didn't leave this league because I got tipped, and I was like, okay, so you left the league because you got tipped, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why else would
This
you
is-
pull that link?
Really close.
This
Rotation
is
mimic.
so sad. So sad.
See,
for,
this is the thing here. We knew that they were
Are
gonna
fortified.
do that combo once we saw the Shadow Shaman and Juggernaut in the draft. I mean,
Dire's middle
if you
tower
get
is under
Shadow
attack.
Shaman or Crystal
Max
Maiden
and
with a
bottom.
Juggernaut is really good. Just to hold them down and let him spin them. Yeah, that's frustrating.
Goodbye, mate. Oh!
That was
The
a very
blind
good spear.
spear.
Yeah, man.
The tip! The tip! The pattern is complete! This is a
This is
very
yeah, this is
ambitious
cringe.
arena.
This is very, very cringe.
Please tell
I
me.
like how she kind of just circles you.
Just
No,
walked
fuck
around you, then
that.
walked away.
Radiant
I had no mana, man. Fuck.
Oh,
Buy
man.
mangoes, my man. I yell at Crafty Potato every game. If you had 3 mangoes here, you would have gotten that kill for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. True, true.
You ain't the one with the CM on your lineup. Um,
Yeah, definitely not.
yeah. Well, at the very least,
Yeah.
if nothing else, even if the first arena gets 0 kills, the prelude to the arena got 1 kill, and it's the most important kill. So just hang your head on that.
Yeah.
I tell you one character who can actually really mess up the Juggernaut in, huh? What the hell?
Down into the deep freeze.
I guess Run Over Me just decided to commit the action of sticking around and finding out.
Dire's
One
middle
character,
tower
and
is
I-
under attack.
And I know a lot of people don't like him 3, and I know I'm like a weirdo and like a bad 1K player or whatever for liking it, but I really like 3 Stealer. I like Life Stealer 3. And there is no more fun lane for Life Stealer 3 than the Jug/CM or Jug/Shaman lane. It is so
Yeah.
sad for them. They hate it so much.
Really?
This'll come in handy.
Because the thing is especially the CM version. With the CM version, the stun is obviously very forecasted. So anytime, like, they just can't die
Yeah,
for you.
Yeah, you can like dodge and shit. I do think you just have problems stunning people initiating, but it's a good meme to pick.
Thank you.
The Vanguard here really saved my lane, to be honest. Also good for this game, just a lot of right click. The
Right.
sniper.
Vanguard is one of those items that you get on your tanks and it just really turns them around.
That was probably not worth the slash.
Really
Well,
wanted
Yeah,
that.
see, I was questioning that. I was really confused.
Yeah, Vanguard in this lane is definitely good because it's like you're not afraid of the magic damage. He's gonna get hammered by the Viper here, but he's gonna be
He doesn't
fine.
ult. I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, if he ults, he's standing right in front of
Yeah,
Viper again. so-
yeah, true.
The Go ahead
Sniper
here.
rotates bottom as well.
Vanguard's good here because it's good against both the Weaver and the Sniper.
I don't think the sniper can really do anything here because it's just a big threat of arena without a BKB. It's just scary.
Yeah,
Honestly,
whenever
my biggest
they-
problem this whole game was the CM, man. CM is definitely CM's playing the game really well up to
Right.
this point.
Yeah, the bad
Staying
news
in
for
lane
CM is that unless she gets a good ult off on you, she doesn't have much of ability to actually seal the deal against you. Because,
Yeah.
like I said when I was talking about the Vanguard, it's not like she does magic damage per se. She's got this. But this is not gonna be, like, that relevant to you. Like, I mean, half the time she freezing feels what's gonna happen, spear. Just get out of my face, right? And it's
Yeah,
over.
exactly.
And the other half the time, ignite, get out of my face, it's over. I would
She definitely
say,
did a good job on the early laning phase. Pretty annoying with the Weaver. I think that was a really strong lane early, but as soon as I itemized against it, our Jug got pretty much bodied out of lane here, but he's not doing
Yeah.
terribly bad. He's actually doing pretty good in last hits, just farming the jungle.
he's
and
got
stuff.
he's got the funny number. Everybody laugh before it's too late. You all laughed
Aw.
too goddamn late. Now we're looking at the network chart instead. Right now, I would say generally this is favoring just by Razor's Edge. I mean, you can tell from the net worth here, obviously. Favoring Razor's Edge, the Radiant here. Sniper is on parity with Juggernaut, and both Pitlord and Weaver are doing better than the Viper or the
Yeah,
Mars. Viper in particular
yeah.
just really didn't get anything done at mid. I understand that. I don't play mid much, and I had to play this matchup once, and I can tell you this, it sucks. You don't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah,
You do
Sniper
not want Sniper
rarely
as
lose
Viper.
this lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You don't want Sniper as most mids. He's like probably one of the foremost lane bullies out there, but Viper really actually does not have any tricks to deal with him. Like, even if you want to just nether toxin the wave a million times, it's like, that's great, but Shrapnel's going to beat that. And he can actually right-click
Yeah.
into it, and you can't.
Your big boy putting pressure on your T2.
Dire's
This
top
ain't mid.
tower is under attack.
Actually, pretty farmed.
He did pretty well for himself. Again, actually, just like the off lane in the last game, for you, both people on top, both of the cores at top, both Big Boy and Juggernaut coming out with decent amounts of gold here.
Yeah.
And interestingly-
like an even lane.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Interestingly, this time it's not like one on kills, one on last. It's like they're just both on last hits. They both just like nobody denied in this top
I
lane.
do think Big Boy does have the bigger end of it with the tower being taken down.
Right.
I think it's way better for him.
Going
to farm
ro-
the top level.
Going right into Rod of Atos, absolutely no surprise there. Pretty much necessary this game.
Yeah. They have no other
Yeah.
lockdown.
With the lack of stuns, yeah, we definitely needed that. It's also kind of a meme with his pit.
Right.
Yeah.
You can,
I mean,
you
it
can
does-
use it to cover the
yeah.
other side of the stun, well, the other side of the route.
Yeah.
This is unfortunate. I think, despite what probably a lot of people are going to tell you with Pitlord, I think Rod of Atos is a item you don't want to get unless you absolutely need it. This game you absolutely did. They are so CC free. Honestly, this game another Rod of Atos wouldn't even actually be bad. Like somebody else buying
Yeah.
another one, like
Like
Weaver
a
going
Glepnir
Glaive
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I do think it's a feel bad because Jack just doesn't give one shit about those
Yeah.
roots, just Qs.
Yeah, he doesn't care at all about pretty much anything.
It's definitely hindsight at this point to be saying it, but there's something to go through magic damage. He got picked really late. I think he had 2 picks left on the board, but something that goes through magic immunity would definitely be good for the BAR lineup here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the BAR lineup. And I think that is to a degree what the sniper pick was for in concept, in theory. But
In theory.
I think in practice it's just so much good has to happen. Like so much has to go
Yeah.
well for that to be the case. It's just not really, you know, you want to talk about Ottoman Bismarck, let's talk about real politic. Real politic is it's just not feasible.
I don't think I mean the farm on the Juggernaut I think is way more scary this game than the farm on Sniper, and leaving their Juggernaut just free farm is pretty dangerous.
Right. And it's not
Yeah.
like they can really stop him either. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
let's say you get a 5-man smoke gank on Juggernaut, right? And then he spins and
spin
TPs. And
Yeah, maybe an Orchid. I mean, yeah, like a direct silence. That. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
even if you initiate with a global silence, just the amount of damage that you don't have. That's another big thing. It's like to compensate To compensate for your lack of stuns, you also
burst.
have a lack of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best you've got is Firestorm, basically, just keeping somebody in the Firestorm in the freezing field. But again, that's only for the duration of that global silence, and it has to be timed perfectly. If he's spinning during it, nothing happens. And of course, again, you are completely contingent on Global being up for that to happen. If Global isn't up and you're not willing to drop it to gank Jug, which is probably a worthwhile investment at this point, to be fair, ain't nothing happening. Bro, look at that run over meat. Look at that run over meat gold count. Oh, poor homeboy.
Even I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Even I can appreciate that. This man's not even got the great value support kit. This guy's got the Tesco value support kit. Big Boy LaCroix faces his worst enemy here in the top lane. Let's see how this pans out.
Yeah, he does have the rod though. He takes absolutely 0 damage from that though.
What the hell? Blade Mail? Why?
I do think Blade Mail is pretty good here against their lineup.
It's great
of them.
against the freezing field, but
Yeah.
I think it's also good against a sniper who likes to hit people. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you. What was that?
That arena.
Yeah.
It was a missed arena, that's what it was. But you made it a really good arena because you wasted global. So
damn.
I did waste a global. I thought that we were gonna get caught in it, but I was really happy we didn't though.
yeah, we smoked right after the global, knowing that it was good for us.
But then you got scanned out.
Yeah.
So it
I was
wasn't that good
actually-
after all. What an interesting
Yeah.
set
I
of scenarios.
think actually the
Counter.
reason
Wait, never mind.
the reason they
No global.
he scanned there was that I told him he was gonna get gone on.
Interestingly, nobody stuns autos at TV's out. Silencers are gonna get eaten though.
Radiant's middle
Support's
tower
going
is
down,
under
that's
attack.
it. Maybe 2-1 mid.
Yeah, I felt really targeted by that Juggernaut.
Anyway, as I was saying before that, you know, the blade mail against Sniper, that's great. Let me tell you what happens if you are in anything but a 1v1 with Sniper, he shoots somebody else.
Tower is under attack.
And as Viper, are you really enough of a high value target for Sniper to cry if he doesn't have to kill you? No, not really. Nature's going pretty long here, getting caught out and getting killed.
Do you think it's also really good against a Weaver that wants to get her backline?
Well, it's good one time though. For like one hit, I don't think he's really going to care that much. I do think Big Boy LaCroix is going to care a lot about getting killed.
Yeah.
There goes me.
Something that surprises me is just the range on Shrap.
Shrapnel.
Let's see, I got the funny range, the cast circles here. You can see shrapnel goes very, very far
Yeah.
away, even without...
And half
any
the
camp
circle,
range.
yeah, half the circle's even.
Yeah, half the circle's out of it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Some EHA. Nice EHA type business for you here.
Juggernaut realizing how no one can really stop him.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah, just
is
kind of
under
running around
attack.
each people.
Trying to play really aggressive. BKB reveal on the Vetus.
Yep, the thing it's easy to forget about with the BKB, as some heroes like this, is Viper Strike goes through the BKB, like in every capacity. The damage, the slow, all of it goes right through BKB. Now, on some characters that doesn't mean a lot, but if you're like really squishy, that means quite a bit. Again, the freezing field immediately gets countered out there. Global silence, but nothing happens to anybody of consequence when it's down. Patriots are gonna eat it.
Yeah, Weaver's gonna kill her shaman again.
And sort of the phenomenon I mentioned earlier comes out, but actually Juggernaut, ironically, takes a bad spin there, but this is a great arena, 4 in the arena, 2 down immediately. Sniper and CM going to go down. Omni Slash coming out. Weaver's dead.
Yeah, it was kind of at
Mickle
this
or
point
Quick
that we knew really it was gonna be that we really had no answers to the Juggernaut. I mean,
Ouch.
Radiant's middle
I tell you what, you do have an answer to the Juggernaut. You have it in Big Boiler Croy. Unfortunately, you let the Sniper get through, and you saw what happened there. Not the Sniper, the Viper get through. You saw what happened there. The break juice was down. Big Boiler Croy taking a nice bath in it. Had nowhere to go with the Mars locking him in there. And as a result, when the Omni
Yeah.
comes in, does full damage and just shreds everybody.
Radiant's
I
middle
know
tower
I
has
always
fallen.
harp on about it, but I tell you what would have been a better use for that money than the blade mail, especially when you're starting to take a big leg upon the game, is that item that helps you do really early Roshan, helps you push at double speed. No idea what that could
Shard.
do
Under attack.
Shard.
Shard on Viper is probably my favorite item.
though. It is so ludicrously good. Like I said before, like I'll say again, they were definitely not thinking about the fact that Viper could buy that item when they made you be able to buy a shard in 15 minutes. It is at its absolute most disgusting there. You know, you get that shard at 15
Yeah.
minutes, and you are like one of the best physical damage like amplifiers in the entire game. You are actually doing like giving your carry Slardar damage without picking Slardar to do so. And it actually gets better as well with your level 20 trait. It's something I don't actually even think about myself often, even though I'm the world's biggest Viper shard shill, is the poison attack magic resistance reduction. You know,
Oh,
going
yeah.
up. It is like doubly good with shard because you get more stacks, 2 more stacks with shard. So you're
That was
sure.
a great courier kill here. That was
Yeah.
his Aghanims on the courier.
That is that's pretty big.
Yeah, you know what's really funny? Right as you guys took Rose, I believe someone said something about, hey, your courier's over there. I think he just forgot about it, and then when that happened, he goes, man, that was probably the most devastating courier kill that we could have done.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He was pretty disappointed in himself for that.
You know tell you some interesting things about the Viper armor break as well is that it goes really well with God's Rebuke. It goes really well with the Viper, not the Viper, the Shadow Shaman wards. And God like Matt is just going to walk C into that. Not even do anything, just look at her and then she dies. This is getting said. No wonder Otto didn't want to do this game. Because I asked him and he was like, "Oh, please, let's not do this series, huh? Let's do the MF Doomed and NWA series from season 12." Not knowing somehow that the reason that we threw that cast out originally is because I felt like we just overflamed his team. So you know, that should. I mean, I guess he is knowing. That should really tell you something. Lambert at this
Man,
point
this
is looking.
healing ward is so good. Yeah, he's really scary. He has a Manta to also dodge even more of the like 1 or 2 spells they have to stop him.
Everything has to go
my-
so perfectly at this point.
My global has no effect on him now.
Pit Lord has to not be broken, and
Which is
has
hard
to
with
have more
spear.
mana, basically.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Pit Lord has to not be broken and has to not be the lowest value core in the game.
Dire's middle
It's the
tower
2
is
things that
under
have to
attack.
happen for this game to be winnable. It has to start getting some farm quick, and this Lotus Orb ain't the way to go. You know, you can get your Shivas, you can get your
Dire's
Crimson
top
Guard,
tower is under attack.
you can get your Wraith back. You can get anything that reduces damage. You need it desperately because if Juggernaut's doing full damage, you guys' team is so squishy. A nasty thought, and it's over.
Haste!
By the way,
Dire's
haste.
top tower
Well,
is under
Sniper's
attack.
Axe comes out. The decisive game-winning Ags, I'm sure. No, do you not have a statue? You don't. Living up to your name.
Dire's structures
Oh,
are fortified.
you're getting stuck in the snakes.
Yeah.
Love it. He gets out.
Page is confirmed for
He can't be on the Weaver as well.
that's the reveal.
That team does have an extremely good high ground.
Is under attack.
Page is not microing the snakes while that's happening, by the way. They were all hitting Big Boiler Croy rather than Sniper or a tower or something. There is one thing that does suck. The Pit Lord passive, I am pretty sure, is going to apply to the snakes. Global Silence to save your own life. And it works out even better than you imagined, I think. I knew that was coming,
Oh,
dude.
no.
That looked like such a great arena spot, and here we are. And stun comes out on Waver. He's just gone immediately. Big Boy LaCroix
Buyback,
buying back, but Big Boy LaCroix is a supplement. He ain't a
Healing
man
ward.
unto
The
himself.
healing ward here is so goated.
I was not having fun.
Yeah, at this point of the game, this is where I realize how insane your high ground is and how much of a shitty game this could turn out to be. One of
Really
those
tough
an
as a
hour, 50-minute game, man.
Hell yeah. Troll the caster special.
Turn out that long either.
Yeah.
Oh, miss a spear, and then he gets
Yeah.
stunned, and then he gets
And,
force staff into him.
Yeah, this was cringe.
Does anyone else godlike Matt overrated?
All the roots.
Glad we didn't
Oh,
pick that
man.
guy.
That was my 10 killing streak as well, man. That was a lot of gold. 1,000 gold on the Big
Right
Boy
to Big
LaCroix.
Boy LaCroix, yeah. Fortunately for you, Big Boy LaCroix is going for Lotus Orb instead of something that's
Yeah.
actually going to help his team survive for more than a second. I mean, hey, it's going to be really good against the Viper and the Ogre, and that would be fantastic if Viper Strike
And
or
the Shaman
Ignite.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic if Viper Strike, Ignite, or the Shaman abilities were actually what you cared about this game, and not the Juggernaut.
Yeah, the Juggernaut is the Doom here, and the Arena. I do think the
I'm
BKBs
curious
are good
to...
for... I think BKB on Underlord is really good here. Like some way to get...
Yeah, you have to. There's just no way you don't. Lotus Orb is
I'm curious to see if Lotus Orb works the same way against Jug's ult as the AM Bell.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah,
the way it works on the Jug ult is really strange. It's like the person it hits goes into like a weird mini Jug ult for just a few seconds.
Yeah. I do
Well,
think...
because when I've played Juggernaut a few
Oh,
times.
the rods!
When you go against an AM with his spell shield, it's like he starts ulting you at the same time, but nobody really hits anybody. It's really weird.
Yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. Well, here comes that Lotus Orb.
See how Lotus doesn't really do anything against the Spear and AoE
Yeah,
Viper break or whatever.
and
The
your
break-
God's Rebuke, goes through that really well.
Oh, yeah,
I'll help
God's
her.
Rebuke is physical. So.
Radiant's
Well, it's
top
also
tower is
not
under attack.
Targeted.
Point target,
Yep.
is it?
The downside on God's Rebuke, yeah. The downside on God's Rebuke is that it's physical. The upside is that, you know, it's not targeted here. Downside is it is physical, which means it's going to be reduced by the Pit Lord if he's not broken. Viper Shard is out, and now watch this tower die.
Radiant structures
Never mind, don't
are
watch the tower die because it got glyphed.
Yeah, sniper here. Oh man, their lineup is just pro high ground, man.
Radiant's
Just
middle tower has fallen.
We did have a lot of high ground.
with the
We
Act
finally
sniper.
Do
it can
have
be-
a stun now.
Tower is under
Yeah.
attack.
Unfortunately, the downside to that is that once Viper gets the shard, there's really not many like ways to just live that uphill. Guy like Matt is going to die again because he's a miserable feeder. Actual 1K player.
Is under attack.
But when the Viper gets his shard, it is so hard to actually keep a high ground defense running because like, you know, they're eventually, right, when the game goes long enough, high ground defenses become really hard because the pause one just starts to melt through the T3 like butter, you know, just you give him
Yeah.
not even like the victory of the fight. You give him like 2 seconds of space in a fight and the T3 is gone, right? Give the Viper
Yeah.
the shard and that comes early. Christmas comes early. And you put a Deso on top of that, it gets even worse. Or you throw in somebody like a Snapfire and that gets even worse.
Yeah.
Or say an Ogre
That is
Magi
true.
who can accelerate anybody who's knocking the tower down. Definitely feel like a he's going for Gleep here. I definitely feel like a Hurricane Harbor Pike is probably the stronger choice here. A lot of your rare deaths are just kind of coming because somebody is getting like chain rooted in a pretty bad spot. You get the Hurricane Pike, and that's just happening no longer, and you get a little bit more range out of it as well. Which, like, the 5 more range you get out of upgrading your Dragon Lance to Pike doesn't sound like much. It can be the world so many times, especially on an uphill push. Global comes
here.
out really early.
Yeah, we were trying to save the Beatus.
Yeah.
We're really afraid of losing him.
This is like the ultimate sad boy defense because it's like even if you defend for like 10 hours, it's like you don't have the late game anyway. So like. Poor
Good pick.
Weaver, dude.
Yeah, man.
I don't think
We
that was good
actually,
positioning.
we actually were, yeah, we were a little bit confused about why he was out
BKB
there.
reveal on the sniper.
Yep.
Right here.
Guy like Matt,
I think,
another wasted arena.
I think,
Oh man. So bad.
Most cringe Mars in the league? 9 out of 10 doctors agree. Snake's coming out here. Hyper looking at people, not objectives. Not the thing to do here. So long to kill that guy and you've overextended so much. Luckily this game is so far gone or else that would be a major mistake.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
yeah, we were
Radiant's middle barracks
not really.
If
We
the
weren't
Weaver
really
is
able
up
to
there, I
come back
think
at all.
if the Weaver is up there, if this isn't like a 13k net worth advantage type game, I think that's like 3 people die and you accomplish nothing. It looked like Otto got like hooked there. Like it didn't look like he went there on his own power, run over meat, randomly dying to T4s. If
Yeah.
only he hadn't wasted ult.
Cringe.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Weaver desperately looking for the Juggernaut here, but he just can't seal the deal and
Halberd. Disarm. Do shit. This healing ward, man. Yo, that's one thing Lambert is just on point with, man. That guy micros this healing ward so.
wow, Sniper walked out of the arena with like the last tick of his BKB.
Can't really hit us while we're in the arena though.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the
Kill the
point.
Weaver.
That
That's the
happened
thing, you
to
can't
that
hit
happened
people inside it.
that happened to Medusa one of the weeks. Being as Medusa one of the earlier weeks. It's like
Yeah, and
she
I
got
played
trapped.
Mars.
She got trapped outside of an arena and was just desperately trying to fire into it, just couldn't do it. This is the part where everybody on MK-Ulty dies.
Oh man.
Except for
Except for
Juggernaut, the
Jug.
guy that we really just can't kill.
Yeah, the really the one person it matters that they go down. This is so sad. It's like I feel like the greatest Greek tragedy of this game. It's like even if you survive for like 70 minutes, what happens? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, this is when it just gets. That's when they start trolling the cast and making this
Trolling
game.
the casters.
Like, yeah. Fuck's sake, man.
I mean, you're laughing, but you guys did it to us 2 different times last season.
Oh
so-
man. Oh, I was the worst when I think I made like 3 or 4
Yeah, you
games
were-
last over an hour long.
Funnily enough, it was you versus Otto again. It was like you're on Darks here, Otto on Bismarck's on the anti-mage,
Yeah.
like the single pick
was-
game-winning anti-mage who's just impossible to ever actually put down.
Radiant
The game
And
goes
then
like
I played
90.
Timber. I played Timber in 1v5 to push him back again. That shit was funny. Another hour long game.
Everybody bullying pages. Roche hates
He's
bugs.
surprisingly not get killed here.
I always, yeah, it's very, like, just assuming there's more backup there
Yeah.
than I think there actually was. I always love it when Roche gets hit by a bug and he just spends a couple of minutes just bashing the thing off.
Yeah, it's like so small. But
Hate
a
it!
little bug.
Big box of Croc. When he gets Mark in this lane. Global silence at the perfect time. Gleipnir coming out to be a baby arena, you know, that's almost like an arena. Basically the same thing. Arena does come out.
Yeah, I was
Only
getting
has
so
CM.
credit.
Sniper of course was in it, but his BKB was off. So. Crystal main buying back. Viper going to be Piper this game. That's interesting. Funnily enough, one of the biggest impacts is going to be the case from the Viper pipe is the regen and Magic Resist Aura being on the creep wave to help it tank through the firestorms.
Yeah.
Will really help break
Yeah.
through some of the uphill here.
Yeah, it's definitely good against the Firestorm and Shrapnel combo, which is just insane and annoying.
It is a lot of damage.
And again, Weaver helpfully breaking Roche's armor to make this Roche process faster. And then Weaver comes in, and now, not Weaver, Viper comes in, and now it's just dead in 1 second left. Sniper has to spin the win to take Roche, but Roche is going to be down. Is he going to eat the shard himself like a greedy little pig? Yes, he does.
I feel like Shard on Juggernaut is really annoying.
Yeah.
In fairness, the only person on his team who could have actually gotten Ill's Ogre Magi, and I'd say the Juggernaut shards are going to be pretty considerable strength. But you know, Lambert's not thinking that. You know, Lambert's like, ooh, shard, gimme, gimme, gimme. There's no way in hell he is strategically thinking that decision through. He's like, item on ground equals Lambert's.
This is Lambert's property.
Yeah.
At this point, we just know that they're turtling, and I feel like it's a lineup that we really just have a hard time going up against. Viper here.
It's gonna randomly catch Pitlord. And just kill him solo. Ever wonder what Deathel's like? Here it is. Big Blair Croy's death here. Not great. He's going to have the opportunity to buy back, but...
Radiant's bottom
Juggernauts, Omnilashes is on though.
Huh?
Juggernauts,
Were you speaking French there?
No.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Is this French language I've heard so much about? Again, Mickle just eats half of this tower's HP. I just want you
Yeah.
to know that there are some trash boats out there who think Viper's shard is not good.
But you can also see how good
Viper Shard is
Axe,
really good.
the Axe was here. Sniper's on the other end of the base and still defends the tower with this stun. It's really
Right.
even
Unfortunately,
more
he can only
turtle.
defend half this tower.
Yeah.
It's definitely a piecemeal strategy. It's one of the things I think like Kai is smart about. At least when he doesn't just get really impatient and forget it. It's like when you're in a long-term turtle situation like this, like every bit of damage you get onto this tower is like a win. Like Viper walks
Yeah.
up and casually takes out half of this tower, therefore is like a supreme victory. It's like, do you get any objectives? No. Do you walk away looking like you didn't do anything? No. Does it feel good? Does it release a little dopamine in your head? No. But what it does do
You're
is
that much closer to taking
Yeah.
it down.
oh my god, God gave you the perfect item! Literally
Yeah,
the
the
best thing
leveler.
you could possibly get in this situation.
Lord gave him the help in there.
Don't look at the Mars's items, man.
Radiance. Cringe.
Man, that was the ultimate meme item.
I always
Yeah.
I like getting
When Otto saw that, he was like, "Why is he buying Radiance?" And I literally was,
Oh, man.
I said, "Well, they're winning. I think he can do what he wants at this point."
yeah.
I was just pissed. I just honestly, I
I-
walked up high ground like 3 times and got right click to death.
I always love Radiance as like the end of hope item. It's like whenever I just ball out to the nth degree in lane and I'm just unkillable, it's just like buy Radiance so everyone feels like crap
Yeah.
whenever I'm around. It's like, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now? No blinking
I
away.
mean, I do have 2 items that give me evasion, so it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, Sniper's never gonna be able to hit you as no MKB. He's not even thinking about it. He does have that quiver, so he can hit you one time for sure.
Yeah.
Randy's favorite jungle item, who's not here today.
Cringe. Missed the whole wave.
Randy missed the whole game, so you're doing better than him.
Yeah. Man, L Randy, bro.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Anyone a bootleg medical decree from from diploma mill?
A what? A diploma?
A diploma
man.
mill. It's like
I don't know what that is.
basically like a crappy university that just gives anyone who pays a degree.
Oh.
They can be technically certified. Runner Ramita is going to die. All kinds of
Dude,
horrible
the tower
things are
dead.
happening off screen right now. I was about to say, but it doesn't matter how bad this fight is going for MK-Ulty because they got the wreck, so they won. Never mind. They just won the fight, so they won. Big Boy LaCroix in particular has a dieback, which means you have literally nothing to do about the jug. I don't care how much Weaver thinks he's gonna do here. Look at him die. Look at him die. Bye-bye, Weaver. Here comes the buyback, so he can do that again.
No, we weren't.
Yeah. What?
I am
shouldn't have to
shocked there
see
wasn't a
this
arena. Oh, because it's on CD. That would be why.
Yeah.
And yep, like I said, Weaver buys back just to do it again. The GGs are called. This game is over. MK-Ulty goes 2-0 against one of the only credible threats against him in the league, and makes this season look even more in the bag.
Yeah, we don't want to get too, how would you say that? We
Yeah,
gotta stay humble. Let's just say that. Stay humble. And
Yeah. So now all you need to do is you need to 2-0 the Bush to 9-11. Maybe that
I think
upstart...
the friend stack. I think the friend stack is probably the team that we think is most competition, just because the MMR is well like distributed, and they're pretty much like they know how to play with each other, and every position knows kind of what they're supposed to do. There's no like crack in their team that we can exploit, type of thing.
Well, there might be if the smoke I've heard about Laser Goes Pew Pew being a Smurf turns out to be true. But you know, that's neither here
Yeah.
nor there. Shout out to friend.
I haven't heard about that, but yeah.
I've heard a little smoke about that recently.
We already played one Smurf stack, man, and
Yeah,
that's
don't need
like
no
one of
more.
our only losses. So one of our two losses
Alright.
against the Smurf team, so it's pretty annoying.
I think Big Boy LaCroix. Once again, the itemization on Big Boy LaCroix, which is weird because usually Big Boy is very good about his itemization. I don't think that the itemization on Big Boy LaCroix did him any favors in this game. There was so much. Again, it is a shame because it's like there was so much riding on him. He had to have like the perfect game, right? I feel like I said this about like Ladder Lads like 3 times last season. Big Boy LaCroix had to have the actual absolute perfect game here, both in terms of play and in terms of itemization. He didn't really have either, unfortunately, for him. Lane went well for him. He did come out like one of the top net worth guys. He just wasn't able to sustain it for that long. Picked a few not so great fights, and I think notably, did either of you see him use his ult one time this game? Because I don't think I did.
No, yeah, I mean, they couldn't have used it. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's one big problem with Underlord, is it?
Well,
I don't know. When I find myself playing it, I never use it, and it's like your team has to be like really jumpy, so that when you do put the gate, you can catch the person you're trying to get
Yeah.
like right
Well,
away.
here's the
and they had
thing.
no catch. So
Let's say that you can't really use the Pit Lord ult to
offensively,
yeah, offensively, right? You'll see you can't really
Yeah.
use it for catches. Tell you what some funny things you can do with it. Drop a portal to a lane, push it out, and then just go right back home without using a TP.
yeah, sure.
You know, when you're on a push, right? Whenever you're on an offensive and your boys are low, hey everybody, TP back home. Everybody
I think-
TPs. Now
yeah,
follow me. You know.
I do think anything you do in Dota should have like a use for, or at least you should use it for something. If you know your illusions get killed right away as a CK, you should at least farm with them. If you're not going to use your Underlord ult because your team can't, well then just go put those skills into stats, or like do something else with it, right? Split the map with it. You don't need to necessarily use it for what you think it's meant for, you know.
You know what I like to use Pit Lord ult for when I can't get any real offensive use out of it? I like to whenever like the enemy team is on our side of the river, our secret shop is really pressured and I really need something out of it, or somebody really needs something out of it.
just go to the secret shop.
Yeah, drop a portal to the enemy secret shop, buy something out of there, cut
Sure.
their off lane with your firestorm, then get the hell out.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of things you can do with it, even if it's not the
You can
most
even
obvious
you can
one.
even show and make a reaction because
I
playing.
think
Go ahead.
I think too he just wasn't too hyped about the change to the ulti. He wasn't.
Yeah,
He's like,
I
I
Yeah,
don't.
don't
no,
think
there's a lot
we're
of
coordinated enough to do this. He's like, I don't really know it too well. It's different. So I
Yeah, it's easy to overthink it. I think that's the biggest thing. It's like when you look at what changed, it's really easy to overthink it. Let's just say it like this, right? It's a simplification. Like, oh, somebody's in the local chat down there actually for once. It's a simplification of your existing ult. It's a simplification of what it used to do. It's a travels for everybody. It's a travels that you have to channel now instead of waiting for. It's a travels for the whole party, or it can be a travels for the whole party. If it can't be a travels for the whole party, it's a travels for you. Think of it like that, and at the very least, you'll have like a baseline ability to use it. And
I
then you
do
can also
think
go
I
to
do
some
think
stuff.
on Big Boy LaCroix's like side. I know that when I play, of course he's insanely better than me at that hero. I mean, I have like a couple games on it, but I do think that when I found myself playing that hero as a 3, like um I used to have a big time just having a big problem just making calls like and being very vocal just because I was like a solo queue player. Um, and I feel like now that his ult is not just a oh shit I'm dying or oh shit like we got to get back, I press this button. It's more of a you know oh it's like we hit a timing, guys, we all get together, we make a play type of thing where the offlane has to be a lot more when you play Underlord, I feel like you dictate the game way more than any other offlane heroes. Like you gotta just make shit happen. Otherwise, your ult is just standing still for the whole game. Because
Right.
nobody's gonna group up randomly. You gotta be vocal about it. And I feel like if you're not
Yeah.
vocal and you're not gonna make the calls, I think the hero is just like not the best. So
Well, here's an interesting situation where you actually have an insight on the Combine situation. Once Big Boy LaCroix being very vocal about his playmaking this game. Mr. NuObs.
no,
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
like was
Is he calling? Is he like, okay, guys, here's what we're doing. We want to hit this guy. Everybody get together. Everybody, is he calling the shots in this game? Or is he
This
just kind of staying
game,
quiet?
I feel like it was more Otto trying to call the shots. It was a pretty difficult game in the first place because last time we had Otto pick sniper, it didn't turn out too well, and just in general, I have a lot of what me and Banana like to call post-traumatic sniper disorder.
Oh dear.
I hate playing with that hero on my team, against my team. I
Who
don't like
doesn't?
seeing him in.
Who doesn't?
It's just like I did have a hard time thinking we were playing well, thinking we were gonna do well, thinking that we had a chance. It was just a little bit difficult anyway, and I think that made it hard for Big Boy in lane, just me being his support that game. So I felt really bad about that for him, and so I don't think he felt like he was in the place to be making the calls. Just him not being a higher net worth and having such a
yeah, you can have the
heart-wrenching
impact.
KDA.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he felt like he was in the place to make those calls, and so Otto was trying, but I mean, then again, we were just having a really hard game.
Speaking of you, I don't feel like in the Co-op Circles game in week 5, right? One of the things that they did, I think they got too much into their head about denying the enemy team heroes, right? Like, we picked a Wraith King incredibly early just to deny, because we thought Princess might be taking it, right? Just to deny Princess of it.
Yeah.
When the reality of the situation is, even if the Princess got the Wraith King, does it really change that much? Probably not. I think the Silencer pick in this game kind of came from the same exact vantage point. Like, okay, so we got to get rid of some of the Mickle and Godlike Mad heroes, right? Silencer is a great answer to both of your pools, I think, to a very large degree. But the problem is that Silencer has really, like, not that much utility in this game unless with the team you ended up with, right? Not much utility outside of just denying like an Enigma from coming out. Because, you got the global silence, and that's great. I feel like pretty much every major kill this game came off of global silence. That's fantastic, but here's the problem. In the context of a team fight, in the context of using silencer to do anything but just deny somebody the ability to run away effectively, right? You don't
Yeah.
have the damage at any point in this game, at least not the
Or even
sustainable damage.
lockdown. Yeah, even
Yeah.
lockdown.
I mean,
Both the
yeah.
support had no stuns on. It's pretty hard. As well as both supports were extremely squishy. There was no like tanky support like a Jakiro, an Ogre, or anything that can sit in front and also tank some damage. They both just want to be as far as possible from the fight.
Yeah, me and Banana I feel like we spent the game just like running away.
Like
Yeah.
the two outcomes for a global silence here that aren't just like a global silence on one guy are you global silence and everybody on MK-Ulty walks away, or you global silence and then Mickle throws out the Gleipnir and all the cores just beat the crap out of somebody while they're silenced, and then they start
Yeah.
using abilities. Like that was basically what I saw
Yeah.
here. I feel like the silencer pick really worked hard against you, and even though it's not a very traditional pause 4, I think you substitute a silencer with like a Bane and you don't have the soft bans anymore. How much does it change? Like, I think it's probably worth a risk if you're going to lose anyway, right? I mean, that's hindsight, obviously. I think it's going to be worth a risk if you're going to lose anyway. You replace the silencer with a Bane, and suddenly you actually have something to do against the Juggernaut, and you can just kind of
Exactly.
take care of the rest from there. I don't know. That's just what I think. And the Beatus Weaver just... no, that was just bad. It wasn't well picked. I don't think it was that great played. Like, it was okay. It wasn't the worst Weaver I've ever seen. But, like, there was no reality in which Weaver is going to do, like, a pause 1 good performance this game. It's just not happening. He doesn't have the right team for it.
For me, I think I would have much rather been an Ogre in the previous game rather than a Witch Doctor. And then I think this game I would have much rather been a Witch Doctor than a Silencer.
You can't see it coming though because you're being picked so early in the draft that you just
Right.
don't know what's coming for you. But
Yeah.
I do think when it comes to drafting, I've been in teams that were very bad at drafting, and like this one that actually does very well at drafting. And the biggest difference is I see what we were just talking about is you never want to pick a hero to deny like a possible like comfort pick. I feel like the only comfort heroes you should be playing the draft around is like you should be banning them, not trying to pick a hero just because the other's playing it. Because like if I'm level like 20 something on Enigma, you can be sure that I know how to play against it. I know all its weaknesses as well, right? So
Yeah.
picking it against somebody is not always good, and also you might not be that good with that hero as well, so it might not be a comfort for you.
Or it might just be a really bad game with the Silencer. I mean, it should
exactly,
be really
so-
telling that Mickle has a level 2 badge by his Viper, and Silencer is a fantastic Viper counter, and he still went 6-2 and 21.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very, very, very bad matchup for Viper, and it still went well. It just tells you sometimes the counters aren't perfect. You have to build a game around it. I just don't think you had it here. The Weaver in particular, though, like even above the Silencer, like the Silencer could work if you had a better pause 1 pick here. The Weaver it was such a cursed situation because it's like he can't tank, he can't help Underlord can't tank, he can't frontline at any point in the game, and if he goes late, he's not going to outscale Jug. So it's like, what are you going to do? Even if you can uphill for an hour, it's just like.
I do think Mars is just the doom here because they're forced to go BKB on heroes. They don't really like to go BKB. It delays their timing items extremely. Like Weaver had to go BKB like first item almost.
Right.
So it's just it delays every other item that makes them have an impact. Same with the sniper. Had to go BKB before the Daedalus and Dragonlance, I'm pretty sure. So it's just like they
I
don't
think
do
you got
much.
I think you got Crystallis and BKB than Dade.
Yeah, so it's like they don't do much but run away from the arena and then like get gone on afterwards when the BKB is done. So it's like kind of cringe item to get, but needed. So it's like.
Yeah, which made it even worse because then they have the Juggernaut who he can just spin everything off and then.
Right.
I think Underlord really needed one just because his Lotus did nothing against my spear, and I just spear him to a tree or anything, and he'd get acid spray or whatever the break from Viper. Viper.
Yeah, the nether
Another
toxin.
toxin.
Yeah, another
I-
toxin. Yeah, there you go.
I know I
it's
said
kinda
this
like,
at the. I said this at the top of the card. I will say this one more time. I do think if Beatus, he probably doesn't want to do it, but I do think if Beatus just goes to the CK again in this game, I think it goes a lot better for him. It really fixes like a lot of their biggest issues. Like it gives you one more bit of
Yeah.
CC, gives you something that goes through the Juggernaut spin. It gives
I-
you something to
Yeah.
do to follow up Silencer.
I do think we
Yeah.
still have a pretty good lineup to play around the CK.
Right, you
but
still
it
have
would
a good
been
lineup
it
for
would
it,
have
but
been
it's like
it would have been a way better pick than a Weaver. I think Weaver was a grief as well. I thought Weaver would have been like a level like 14 Weaver or something, but it was like a bronze Weaver. It's like really a random pick. I don't know.
yeah.
I would
Well,
have
either
felt like
way.
maybe maybe
Yeah.
like a 200 game on Weaver pick type of thing that he's just really comfortable on it, but it's like a more like a 10 game Weaver pick. So if even that, I mean he's level 1, so
Yeah.
3 or 4 games on the Weaver, so it's kind of a risky pick. But other than that,
Was.
So, before we close out for today, well, let's start with the ending spiel. If you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg to sign up today. As I said before, holes are happening on these lineups at a surprisingly frequent basis, so being able to stand in, or in fact being able to just permanently join a team, is actually a feasible possibility, even though we're this late into the season. If you don't want to do that, there's pretty constant party queues happening, or you could just sit there and bullshit with me. I'm always great. And if you want to know this league's sponsor, this week our show is sponsored by Lambert. Lambert, who motherfucked us, well, motherfucked me specifically, behind my back, and then was like, "Oh no, bro, it's cool." When I brought it up to him. Fuck you, Lambert. You dick.
yeah, fuck
Anyway.
Waldbert, man.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you guys next. Well, these guys probably won't, because there's no way these goofballs are coming back. Well, I'll see you next time.
Yo, thanks for having us on the cast.
Yeah, thanks.
You're not
That was
welcome.
fun.
Aw.